people, welcome back to Memory Card. Today we're going to take a long, hard and unique look upon the Blue Blur, Need for Speed, Freak himself, Sonic the Hedgehog in his first proper 3D outing, Sonic Adventure.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Oh, I'm just writing up a comment about you're wrong about the best Sonic game ever.
Oh, well, maybe we look at the game and properly assess the game for what it is and not look at it through the nostalgia filter?
Nope.
Okay then, go back to typing.
Okay, so I'm gonna level these. I'm a huge fan of Sonic and I've actually played all the entries I can. There's one or two that have escaped my existence, but I have played Sonic Adventure multiple times and beaten it as such. When I had to actually go and take a look at it for timelines, because hey, plug for the next show I'm going to be doing, I actually broke it down and I actually had to look at this entry, and people were raving about for being such a great entry for Sonic, and Sonic Adventure 2 was amazing. I actually broke Sonic Adventure down and looked at it hard, and it's more graceful as an entry than it is an actual giant stepping stone for Sonic's greatness. So without further ado, we're going to crack on into this before my cancellation, so here we go.
So with the first game releasing on the Dreamcast way back in 1999, Sega launched its first game as a title on the console to show what the little grey box was capable of. Yes, after 5 years, the Director's Cut would be released for the GameCube, and it did fix a lot of the problems and even added in some additional content, but for this review I just planned to look at the original release as that's what I was playing on PlayStation Now, and for some reason not the Director's Cut. So the game had a positive reception when it was released, with scores between 8 out of 10 and similar other scoring methods, and over the years it's been heralded as one of the good Sonic games. And to say this game hasn't aged well, it's like making jokes at Christian Bale's Freak Out years back.
Oh, good for you!
And yeah, it's funny, but overall it's been done to death. It's also really unfair to compare this game to the more modern games, as the jump quality is vast.
It's no use! This will end it! It's no use!
Well, sometimes when they're not just broken, jumbled messes. This game did try to do something different, as Sonic up to this point was a 2D platformer well known for its level design or a straightforward story going from zone to zone until the game is beaten. So with the first proper 3D game in the series, Sonic Team wanted to change the formula and try something a little bit different. For their ambition and ideas, you can really see some good concepts, but at the end of the day that's all they were, concepts broken up with some form of level design. Sonic always was an easy to grasp idea of going through zones with occasional boss battles, but with Sonic Adventure it opens up to making the players play 6 different stories, all crossing over at points. And with these different stories, they made them all have different modes, such as Tails being a race through different acts, to even Big being a fishing minigame. And as much as this seemed like a good idea, it's executed very poorly and ends up being more frustrating and a jumbled mess because of it. So, to quickly sum up the story as loosely as I can, Dr. Eggman has broken the Master Emerald to free a deity called Chaos, and over the story the Doctor is able to feed Chaos the Chaos Emeralds, allowing it to morph and mutate, with Sonic and the others trying to stop the evil Doctor, with flashbacks happening to each character, seeing the past and how the Echidnas were the protector of the Master Emerald and how they got greedy one day and enraged Chaos. All boiling down to Tikal, one of the Echidnas, sealing Chaos away in the Master Emerald, and through these visions, Tikal even asks you to stop Chaos. Eventually, all cultivating down to Chaos becoming perfect and taking over Station Square, it's up to Sonic to unleash his supersonic form and beat Chaos. With the day being saved, Eggman escapes and the heroes all go their own way, and that's a very loose description of the story of the game. Now there's a lot more to this story, as each character does have their own little arc alongside their own end goal, but some of these character stories are completely forgettable, such as Gamma, Big, Knuckles and even Amy, and that's really sad because it's over more than half the game. Aside from the plot, I'd rather skip making jokes about the obvious animation of the cutscenes. Even though they are laughable by today's standards, I honestly tried looking at these as if I was back in 1999, and even though I tried to be as open-minded as I was, they are still very laughable in the animation, the voice acting, and even just general direction is just very undercooked. Now yes, the Japanese cutscenes are better, but you'd think they would have spent some time to fix that for the international release, and for argument's sake, this was even a problem for the sequel where the audio mix and dubbing was just a total mess.
The hatch doors are
Don't
open.
sweat it, Knuckles. The only thing in the cargo bay are those
What do you
master
mean, don't
emeralds.
sweat it?
Right?
Land the
Knock
shuttle
it
and
off,
let
knock
me
it
out.
off.
I'm the world's ultimate life form. There's no time for games.
Signal from the emerald. If I'm not mistaken, this is the master emerald, is it not?
Dr. Eggman.
So that's Dr. Eggman.
Well, I guess I can use it for something. I'll just take it with me. Farewell, knucklehead.
Oh boy, have you guys finished those comments yet? No? Okay then, let's continue.
So by this point, I think I've summed up how I feel about the overall animation and story, and general things that people like to point out a lot about this game. Even though it's not as bad as Sonic 06. But I really wanted to look on how this game actually transitioned from 2D to 3D. Now there are games in the series like Sonic 3D Blast that are 2.5D. 2.5D! And other titles like Sonic Jam to Sonic R, but these are different as they were made to either be a racing game or a small platform as a concept with other games inside it. I had to break down Sonic Adventure down to 3 questions, and over these 3 questions I came up with these answers to back my statement at the beginning of this review.
It's more graceful as an entry than it is an actual giant stepping stone for Sonic's greatness.
So even if this seems like I dislike the game, I stress I don't hate it. It's not like it's Shadow the Hedgehog.
Question 1.
How does the game control? Well, honestly, I'm happy that over time the Sonic games discarded doing hub worlds like this. After this game as well, when you start the game fresh as Sonic, his fast movement works against the camera. However, due to Sonic gaining momentum very quickly, you tend to faceplant a lot of walls and even fly past where you're meant to go. Eventually you go to the mountains, and this comes with a lot of space, and it feels a lot easier to control Sonic's speed and momentum, and overall how he controls. But this also comes with, where do I go? Sadly, this comes to with needing to watch the cutscenes and listen to the story carefully, and sadly there isn't a waypoint to direct you to the objective, and sometimes you need to find the item to go and access certain zones, and you can miss these if you don't notice them or even realize they're there. Once again, making you run around a giant open area, screaming to yourself, where do I go? When a game's making you say out loud, where do I go? Or even when you solve that puzzle you needed to pick up that item and take it to another place, and saying, finally, that's bad game design. Sonic was always seen as this game to platform around and even try and get through each act as fast as you can. And when the hub world takes longer than some zones, that's bad game design. Now yes, when you know what you need to do, it's easy to run around, but you still have to do the first run of the game blind and confused. There's a little orb of light that resembles Navi from Zelda that offers you guidance, but that sometimes can be bang on telling you what you need to do or vague as hell. And when I need to run around an open space trying to find out what I need to do or even need to locate that orb of light, that's once again bad game design. Overall, I think when it comes to the hub world, this game tried to do something but it just did not pan out. Now how does the game control via the actual levels? Well, there's some good concepts for levels here. It's just that with Sonic's movements, these levels can be very easy. The only time I think I lost a life was when I wasn't paying attention or a weird glitch did something that killed me. For some of these levels, I felt unchallenged. Due to a lot of the robots that I could destroy, I just passed by without any problem or need to deal with, as their placement wasn't in any way to inconvenience me, unless I needed to do some homing attack to progress to the next platform. And when the 2D platformers did the robots as an obstacle or needing to do them for platforming, it felt more a do or die with those games, whilst in this it just felt meh at best. Really, as people would just instinctively do the homing attack to deal with these robots, I just didn't feel compelled as much to do so. The other stories all kind of handle the same way with their jumping and platforming. However, each story has a gimmick to them. Tails is a race through each zone, and to get to the end. That's okay, Tails' flyability actually feels pretty weighty and handles well enough for me to enjoy it. It's just a pain that most of the zones that you're going to be going in don't really have that much level change. It's just a few shortcuts here and there. Knuckles is a find the hidden emerald shards. These are okay, sometimes well hidden, but the zones will take about a few minutes at best. It's not like Sonic Adventure 2 where they decided to make the zones monstrously large. Amy's has a bit of change with her level design, but now you have to run away from a robot that will chase you through each zone. While sometimes this is cool and other times this can be an inconvenience to deal with, as you have very specific puzzles to deal with, and trying to do them whilst dodging this robot can be difficult, unless you really glitch it out so it stops chasing you. Big as a fishing minigame. Honestly, that's all I'm going to say about it. If you want to know how painful this mode is, please go watch the Game Grumps play one level of this. Not only because the music is so annoying, it feels like an assault on your ears, but the fishing minigame is so hit and miss if it will ever work. Seriously, there were some levels I did in a minute or two, and there were others that took 20 minutes or more. That this felt so crowbarred in, it was useless, worthless, and the fact that if you look at Big, they just really bastardized this character so hard, and his mode was just so wrenched in that they couldn't be bothered really making another level design for this character. They just went, yeah, go fish, done.
Oh, what am I doing in my life, people? I am harshly criticizing Sonic Adventure on YouTube. I'm gonna get crucified!
Okay, so who's left? Oh yeah, Gamma. He's really got short zones with a boss battle at the end. That is it. It doesn't take long. It really isn't that challenging, and honestly, every time you destroy a robot you gain time. It's a cool idea, but because they only take a minute to 2 minutes, they're really not that challenging. And even the boss battles are just like, you can spam them into stun lock. It's insane. And now finally the last story mode after doing all these other ones, you have Super Sonic. And this mode's boss. I like it. It's only a boss battle really, and it's actually well designed. It makes you take out Dash to perfect chaos, gaining speed so you're able to damage him. You do this multiple times while Crush 40 plays in the background. It's so goddamn boss. With all these different ways to experience the story and their controls, I can stand firm in my assessment, and that these were interesting concepts, but at the end of the day, instead of doing a pick and mix of game styles, they should have picked maybe 2 or 3 of them and worked on them as much as they could have. It would have given us better level designs and maybe even a better control of how we experience the game. And yes, I know that's really what Sonic Adventure 2 is, and I can't say Sonic Adventure 1 is a terrible game because of all of this, but when I did play certain levels like Speed Highway, I did enjoy myself, but when I got to fish, find, or race through levels, I found I didn't enjoy my time with this game. I found these levels like a tour of what could have been, and trying to elongate the playtime and making a C, B, and A mission doesn't make it worth revisiting some of these levels, because some of the missions can be very difficult, especially some of these needing super levels of random number generating to happen, such as the casino missions. They are insanely difficult to get done.
Question 2.
How well does the soundtrack contribute? Okay. Now I know this one's subjective, but over the years I lived by one rule for Sonic games. If the music kicks ass, the game sucks ass. Such a clever rhyme. Good on me. Now the reason I say that is over the many Sonic games I've played, when I hear some good tracks for an entry, the game always ends up sucking for me. Sonic 06 had tracks such as His World or Wave Ocean the Inlet. Sonic and the Black Knight had tracks like Night of the Wind or With Me. Sonic Heroes had Sonic Heroes or The Egg Fleet. Shadow the Hedgehog had I Am or Never Turn Back, and on with the modern Sonics. And while Sonic Adventure does have some amazing vocal tracks from Crush 40, when it's the ambience music in the hub worlds, well, they suck. Tracks that will forever be in my memory to torment me will be the tribal chanting music in the mountains or Big's Emerald Coast stage. These ones will be forever locked in my memory to taunt me till the day I die because they are so annoying. Now there are certain tracks that are good, but I stress this segment's all subjective, because even though I dislike the first act's music alongside Twinkle Park, thinking of it, someone else may really like them. So to pick out tracks and say they're bad or good is kind of redundant, and all I can say is where the music was good, the game didn't seem as bad, but when the music was grating, I noticed the game sucked even more. The only true moment I didn't care and found myself singing along was the Supersonic boss fight when Crush 40 plays the first part of the boss battle. And this is the thing the 3D Sonics do a lot better than the 2D Sonics with the final boss music tracks, as even the recent Sonic Forces had the music fist bump play whilst you take on the final boss, and that makes these encounters impactful on me. However, I'm going to point out the credit music, because when they start to roll, each character has their own track and they're all unskippable. A lot of them are super cringe and kicking the nuts boring. If there was a way to skip these credits, I never found it, so I had to sit there and endure these tracks.
Question 3.
Overall, how did I feel? If you're skipping the cutscenes, this game doesn't take long, as I completed it in one afternoon just by clearing each stage once and moving on. And there was moments that I loved, and other moments I found myself asking why was I playing it. But looking at it for when it came out, this must have been mind-blowing, as it was Sonic as a 3D adventure where you got to go and do some adventuring with some, yes, laughable story, but story nonetheless, that was even fully voiced and even animated. Until that point, there wasn't a Sonic game in existence that did that. Nowadays, we have a full library of Sonic titles that are 3D, cutscene voiced, and even some really good ones. Sonic Generations, because I fucking love you. But if I'm to criticize this game on how I would have felt then and now, I have to be totally honest with myself. It would have blown my little 11-year-old mind. And if I was to look upon this game today, I can see the beginnings of some of the 3D Sonic traits that are still seen in modern, up-to-date releases. Alongside seeing this as the first step towards the direction they were wanting to take the series in. Bet y'all weren't expecting me to say that now, were ya? But yes, I neither dislike or like this entry, because I can take it or leave it, neither love it or loathe it. Because for all the bad, there are good in this entry. I still stick to my statement saying it's an ungraceful and undercooked game for the series, but when the DX version did come out, they did fix and sort the animations for the character models, etc. They didn't fix the core part of the game where you still were playing pick-a-mix game types. Overall, if this review just pissed you off, then you have right to be, because most likely it's one of your favourite games from your childhood. Or, if you think I'm being too generous complimenting this game, and you too have right to be pissed off, as this game properly did wreck your enjoyment of the series. But all I can say is, I'm in the middle, neither dislike or like. Even though this was the first proper 3D platformer in the series, over the years we've seen other releases make headlines as the best or worst, so much so that Adventure has gained a cult appreciation for what it's known and being seen as the first best entry, or where Sonic really started to suck. Either way, I can't quite decide on what won the entry.
Okay, so I'm finally done. I'm going to take a nice rest and relax and don't have to think about this game again. Because honestly, I tried being as biased as I could because, well, honestly, it's got some good and bad. You know, you can't really say it's a worst Sonic game there has been because we've had Sonic Boom 06 and etc, etc. Meanwhile, we can't say it's the greatest game because we've had Sonic Generations, Forces, Colors Recolored, whatever it's going to get called. Even Sonic Unleashed, I would say, was better than that. Overall, put all those pitchforks down and the torches because I'm not going to go near the sequel because honestly, dealing this one was a bit of a nightmare for me, and trying to remain biased, as you can already tell, is a pain because there's so much you can laugh at, there's so much you can dissect, there's so much you can actually go, haha, this isn't a really great game, blah 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 blah. But honestly, I neither like or dislike it. I'm in between after doing this. And even when I was writing this review, I was like, well, I'm neither for nor against it. I'm neither hate it nor like it. And I do stress that on the last question. But overall, I do hope this video has unearthed some memories, and especially if you've liked the game or if you want to play it again, thinking, wow, what a childhood memory this is. As a Sonic fan, there was parts I was catching. I'm pretty sure I saw Cream several times flying around, and that caught me off guard. I was like, wait a minute, you were invented before Advance? Cool. And I didn't know that, and it was one of the things that caught me off guard. I was like, ooh, she didn't exist then, but it's cool. Also, the DX got probably go and play it because it's a bit better and all that. That's all I've got to really say about that, but hey-ho. But honestly, give me a comment, tell me what you liked about it. If, once again, it hacked you off in a certain way, I'm sorry, it wasn't meant to do that. But it's me trying to dissect it because a lot of my good friends were like, wow, Sonic Adventure is really good. I was like, really? So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go rest and never touch a Sonic game for at least another year and a bit. Okay, I'm away. In fact, I'm going to go play 2. Wow, thank you so much for watching this. If you got to this, thank you so much. It actually means the world to me. I wasn't intending this. I was actually just going to do timelines and that was it. But thank you very much for sticking around for this because it actually means the world to me. Honestly, if this has hacked you off in any way or it's like made you mad because I'm not talking fully, I haven't really done it as well as I think I could have, but honestly, let me know if I've done a good job, or if you're like, oh goddamn, you never explained a Gamma's story, or you even didn't touch the story on that. Let me know, and I could probably come back and do it better for Sonic Adventure 2. I don't know. Overall, it's like the only reason this came around was because I'm doing timelines. It's going to be an interesting concept. I'm actually going to look at an IP. And I'm going to break it down. I'm actually pulling this one out of the gutter. I'm going to go, right, that's an idea I was wanting to do. We're doing it. It's 90% done. It's pretty good. It's a lot of work, but I'm going to enjoy it. Hiatus is kind of overish. I don't know. This kind of happened out of nowhere. So thank you very much for watching, people. Do comment, like, subscribe. Go check out other things. If you're not subscribed to Lupin or Quacky or Shweeby or anyone I follow on Twitter and that, please go check them out and all that, because like, they're amazing people. I love them a bit. Also, if you want to go and check any of my other stuff, which might be getting redone bits and pieces here, please go check out my playlist, because my playlist has got all of season 1, and this is still season 2, which is weird. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, people. I'm not going to hold you much longer, and thank you for watching. Okay, I like the trifactor of the worst games. I like Sonic Boom, I like Sonic 06, and I do like Sonic Adventure. Fight me, internet.